just have to, I hit the end button each time. Just have to click it down.
Okay, well, I'm going to start talking about the education system. And right now I'm going to lay out the problems that are currently in the educational systems in developing countries. There's a huge lack of funding. Most of their teachers are volunteer. They don't get paid, and that's also a reason why they can't get college-educated teachers to teach there. Also, the classrooms have few books, and a lot of them are not up to date with actual facts, so just kind of a deficit for children learning in these countries. Schools are also expensive to upkeep. There's actually a fact in Indonesia, the capital, there's 179 schools that are not fit to use, and 70% of the schools in Jakarta's are like about to collapse or need of extensive repair. Also, it's very expensive. Parents must buy their children school supplies. This limits the ability for some children to even go to school, because even though all they need is a notebook and a pencil, some parents can't afford that. And also, children work in these countries, so when they go off to school, an additional income for the family is lost. Okay. There's a gender bias. A lot of these countries don't believe that women should be educated. They actually have even committed violent acts against girls who have tried to seek out an education, which is really astounding. They believe kind of that girls don't need education because all they're really doing is going back to the home and taking care of children, and they're not really going out into the workforce. But actually there's evidence and studies that say that education is beneficial to women because it can better their abilities to take care of their children and actually nourish their children. And also there's a study, statistic that says the mortality rate of infants 5 or younger is 2 times greater in uneducated women than if they were raised by educated women. Alright, so yeah, this slide is just cool because of the dinosaur, and also the basic point of this slide is that we're putting a lot of funding into things that are pertinent. Obviously, hunger and poverty are really like pertinent things that we need to take care of in developing countries, but we can't necessarily shove off to the side education, because education offers a long-term solution for hunger and poverty, and it also provides these countries with the capacity to take care of their own solution, their own problems. All right, so so access to the internet is extremely important in education. It allows teachers to go and access the computer, and basically they can print out their own textbooks. They found not having up-to-date textbooks and not having enough for the children is pretty much corrected by the internet. And it also allows for more career opportunities to be pursued, because once you have internet skills and you're able to use a computer, you have the ability to go seek out more jobs, because that's what employers want. There's a need for a physical venue. The need for a physical venue would not necessarily be eliminated, but in terms of online schooling, it would. You could just access a computer, and you wouldn't even have to go during the hours that you work. You could go, after you work or before you work. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Also, I found that there weren't any research institutions and universities in developing countries. There were a few of them, but they really weren't abundant. And actually, a lot of the studies that developing countries receive are conducted and studied by developed countries. So they're all about the social behavioral habits of developed countries, and there's no like self-conductive studies done by developed countries. If they did have set up research institutions and were able to assess their own culture and assess their own social behavioral patterns, and they might be able to also basically solve their own solutions.
I'm going to watch a quick video right here. You guys have probably seen it. It's a commercial that runs on a couple stations.
The real question is, why? Why give a laptop to a child who may have no electricity or even running water? That's a very good question. But if you substitute the word laptop with education, the answer becomes clear. You don't stop education until all other challenges are solved. You do them at the same time, because education is the foundation of the other solutions. That's why we designed the EXO to work in the places that need it the most. Rugged, because these are kids after all, and kids tend to be, well, kids. Low cost, so we can make a lot of them, for very little. Low power, so even in places with no electricity, it can be charged with alternate sources like solar power. Connected, so kids can access the internet, share files with each other, and collaborate on projects. The EXO also has a screen you can read in direct sunlight, because many of the children we reach go to school outdoors. The EXO comes with a built-in webcam for pictures and video clips and a ton of education-focused software. All these features and many more add up to one incredible result. When the EXO comes to a classroom or a village, kids get engaged, inspired. They go to school more often and stay there longer. They draw pictures, play music, make movies, write stories, figure out how to do new things, and begin to teach each other, and even their parents. With the EXO, kids learn to solve their own challenges, and one day, they might even help us solve ours. That's how we'll change the world, and that's the best answer to why give a laptop. So, give a laptop, change the world.
Okay, so basically ICT is sharing information via communication and the internet, and it's just like technology enhanced communications. It's basically a basic definition of it. The benefits of it are that it's actually lower cost to teach people on the internet than it is in schooling. Like I said, we don't have like the funds to support college-educated teachers. So if students were just go online, then they could access more educated information. And also it engages those people who learn visually and audibly and use other senses to learn. A lot of times, like, it can be draining if you're just in a classroom and you're with a chalkboard and a notebook. Like, that's all the visual aspects that they really get in developing countries right now. But with ITC, that would change. So, sure. Yeah. So I found this really cool thing that was developed by the UN. It's called the University of the People, and it's a tuition-free school. Basically, it's not totally free because you have to pay for your application. You have to pay for test processing, but it currently has 300 students enrolled in it, and it's looking to become accredited soon. It's all online, and it only offers 2 majors right now to developing countries. It offers computer science, and it offers business. And it also has an option to just study, mathematics, English. It sounds like a great idea, but they still need to raise a lot of money. They've had things like this in the past that just haven't moved forward because there was not a lot of money to pick out them. They still need $5 million. So. But essentially, if they get enough people to sign up, it can be so.